Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. You can always email us a question as well, fred@planttalkradio.com. And Donna sent one in this week.
Okay.
And she says, any tips for me on cucumbers? I've never had much success. And then she says, also I heard coffee grounds are good to mix in with the soil.
Well, let's start with the coffee grounds, which I can definitely speak to. And let's just say I do it all the time. Every day's coffee grounds and filter go into a little 1.5-gallon bucket, stainless steel, under the sink. And banana peels, orange peels, and on and on and on, lettuce ends, whatever it may be that is vegetative. No meat, milk, or bone, that kind of thing. And it all gets literally dumped in the compost pile and then stirred in among, either the current leaves, being in the fall, or leaves now that I've left piled all winter long. I will continue to add as the brown material. The green material, the nitrogen stuff and so on, is all of the stuff off the kitchen tables and counters. So, yes, coffee grounds by all means, even to the extent several people that I know that are avid gardeners and constantly doing their compost pile and are moderate coffee drinkers, they'll stop at one of the coffee shops and ask for and usually receive coffee grounds that they blend in. First of all, it's organic matter. Second of all, it's been chopped up so the Mother Nature doesn't have to do it. By the time it's through a coffee grinder, it's darn near ready for composting right then and there. Blended in through, it is slightly acidic. 70% of Ohio is in fairly alkaline soils. Happily, a part of the Cleveland down through Marietta area gets, let's just say, enough acid. But the coffee grounds and other things are slightly acidic, so it's absolutely a benefit. Cucumbers, I wish I knew as much about. I have never grown them successfully either. One of the things I have been told, and I hope I'm right on this, some of the plants of that nature are types that you should wait and plant, let's just say, at the last minute to get a full crop. That way, the moths that lay eggs and cause the caterpillars and so on, the worms, etc., and I'm being very general here, but those you usually can manage by planting late. So I'm hoping that will be of some help, and that's what I know about cucumbers.
What do you mean when you say planting late?
Well, okay. You look at a seed packet, it tells you many things, including days to harvest. Mm-hmm. And then you check with your county extension service by internet anymore and find out growing days that have taken place. You'll find in any of several places information on when to plant, warm, cool, whatever. Go to the last, sometimes the package will show you literally periods of time. And if it says it's a plant that you should plant April, May, and it happens to be a cucumber or similar, I would go into the May period toward the end of that so that you are letting the insects do their thing on somebody else's garden. And then when you plant yours, the insects will be dead and gone, or that stage of that insect is moved on, and you can get a better crop of melons and cucumbers and things of that nature.
I imagine, like most of plants, they like it well drained.
Yes. Mark, I think it's safe to say everything that you would want to grow in a garden, literally everything, should have what I joke about, a decent burial. Soil depth is considered a root crop, such as a carrot. You almost have to have good soil for a foot down. Of course, there are some short carrots, but at the same time, you want good drainage. You want what's called good tilth, which means that you could almost stick your hand in the ground without a trowel to plant things. Every year, you would turn under or add more organic matter, be it old mulch or stuff from the kitchen counter, or as I I'm a lazy man when it comes to composting. It takes a year, but I have some compost that's probably now 5 years old that I just haven't gotten around to using yet because of where and how I use it. So, all garden things should definitely have good drainage.
So I guess on my to-do list today, it's take a bucket over to Fred's and get some of his
yes,
compost because
as long as you're not caught.
That's right. Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Hauer and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com